Berkeley Law School dean says Constitution is outdated, referring to the American Constitution, and threatens the United States, he says. This is authored by Ben Bartrey via Armageddon Prose on Zero Hedge. Berkeley Law School dean Erwin Chemerinsky promoted his very patriotic book, No Democracy Lasts Forever, How the Constitution Threatens the United States. Recently penned an op-ed and appeared on MSNBC to float the idea that we need to toss out the United States Constitution, which is, in my humble opinion, the most beautiful constitution the world has ever had, arguably the most eloquent and functional, if imperfect, governing document ever written, which every Western nation has modeled their own on, and replace it with something a little more democratic, he says. And here the cross-eyed nerd says, who would be the first to go in the kind of French Revolutionary style chaos he's fomenting, like Piggy in Lord of the Flies explains via the Los Angeles Times. No matter the outcome of the November election, it's urgent that there be a widespread recognition that American democracy is in danger and that reforms are essential. No form of government lasts forever, and it would be foolhardy to believe that the United States cannot fall prey to the forces that have ended democracies in many other countries. Although the causes are complex, many of today's problems can be traced back to choices made in drafting the Constitution, choices that are increasingly haunting us. After 200 years, it is time to begin thinking of drafting a new Constitution to create a more effective, more democratic government. Signs abound that American democracy is in serious trouble. Confidence in the institutions of American government is at an all-time low. The Pew Research Center has been tracking public trust in government since 1958, and it has gone from a high water mark of 77% in 1964 to our contemporary 20%. A poll in September 2023 indicated that only 4% of U.S. adults said the American political system worked extremely or very well. A recent Gallup poll had only 16% of Americans expressing approval for how Congress is performing its job. Especially individuals in their 20s and 30s are losing faith in democracy. A Brookings Institute study found that 29% of young Americans say that democracy is not always preferable to other political forms. First of all, democracy is a broad term that means different things in different contexts. When it's used, generally it means rule by the people, and in that sense is the antithesis of authoritarianism of various stripes. But when it's used as a specific governing model, direct democracy of pure democracy is a euphemism for mob rule. This is not what the founders intended, because anyone who has read Lord of the Flies understands enough about human nature to foresee the outcome. And most of us have read Lord of the Flies. It was compulsory reading in high school, wasn't it? Now, second, the reason no one trusts the government is because it's run by crooked totalitarian people, not because of academic concerns over the nuances of the Constitution. But they'd rather not talk about any of that on MSNBC or any corporate state media because they are functionally the state. And continuing, they said, there is an alternative to a spate of separate amendments, starting fresh by passing a new constitution. It does not take much reflection to see the absurdity of using a document written for a small, poor, and relatively inconsequential nation in the late 18th century to govern a large country of immense wealth in the technological world of the 21st century. It may seem strange or frightening to suggest thinking of a new constitution at a time of great partisan division, but that existed in 1787. In many of the states, the Constitution was just barely ratified. Ben Barty is an independent Bangkok-based American journalist with opposable thumbs. Following his stuff at Substack, you can see, it says here. This is from Armageddon Prose, and this is on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.